behind all of the greenery that the Woodlands is known for is this gem of a place that you may not have noticed was even here. It's Ulis Kitchen in Alden Bridge. Let's take a local detour. How do you like to be called Ulysses, or how do you like to be?
It's a funny story. So I love Ulysses. I've always been Ulysses. The only times that I was David Ulysses is when my mom was upset about something, and I know I was gonna catch, her whip. But when I moved to Georgia, they started calling me Ulysses. And Ulysses is not very popular. Ulysses is not very popular in Georgia. So I adopt David from then on, and that's how we met. And then Ulysses became here because most people pronounce Ulysses correctly. And that's when the idea of Ulis Kitchen came alive. My in-laws, they love Uli. And that's how my mom used to call me when I was a kid, when she was nice. I had to tell you, being a chef for many years and me loving Mexican food and not find one really. So we had different concepts when we start the idea of open up a restaurant,
We really did transform the concept to this space. We found it, and honestly, we kind of sat on this for a minute because I don't really know why. But when we came and saw it in person, we saw a tremendous amount of potential. Build out ended up being a little bigger project than we'd anticipated. It always does, right? But it gave us an opportunity to create kind of like a boutique dining experience.
That was one of the first things we saw about this was, I didn't know what to expect. I heard about it and we came in and we were all like, this was not what we expected. It's like, it's Mexican food. And we're like, okay, we know what that looks like. This isn't what that looks like.
No, we walked in and we saw the beautiful light fixture, the gorgeous interior that you guys picked out. There was jazz music playing, and this bar is stunning. So it really is an elevated experience completely.
Because it's just more than just the food, it's a culture and a plate. You know what I mean? So when we decide what we want on that wall, we didn't know what we were going to do, and then we started that project of trying to express the culture. Is not just Mexico being in the country, but everything comes with it.
But I also love that we're doing this. We're bringing some of these dishes that people don't always see. I mean, they're familiar things. People know, and we've got tacos, of course, we've got our enchiladas, but like the chamorro de cordero, a lamb shank, some of these ceviches and aguachiles that people are a little familiar with, but they're presented a little differently, a little different traditional style.
We've been blessed, and people here in this area had to embrace us so much, and it was overwhelming, the fact that her and I, we were like, expecting this impact in such an early stage of the restaurant, so.
I was a little bit concerned, honestly, about being outsiders to the Woodlands and coming here and opening a restaurant. I didn't know how that would be received. But everybody has been so nice. Like, they've been overwhelmingly supportive. They were patient in that first week or so when we were working things out. When the internet went out, when the power went out, when all of the things that go wrong were going wrong, they were wonderful.
Your server told us that the paintings throughout here, a lot of them are yours. I took a couple of shots of some of yours to put on the tape.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us about one or two of them? Like, some of them
Well,
seem to be very interesting, like you had a point behind them.
And everything has to have a meaning to me, from the little things that we do at home. It has to be meaningful, otherwise it's not part of my life, And graffiti or abstract art, I love colors because to me color is life, I mean, a lot of people see days great and black. I see color,
And you show your love of color not only in the restaurant, but on your shoes.
Yes.
We were talking about shoes.
I'm about to make him take his shoes and move out.
We love
He has
them.
a wing for his shoes.
We love we love the colorful shoes. So I love that you said culture on a plate. That's amazing. And it's just like your shoes. It's just like when you come in this restaurant, it's a pop of surprise, and then look at this colorful. Your delivery is exceptional.
Because sometimes good food looks horrible.
Yeah, it's not always pretty. How do you make it pretty though and keep it authentic, keep it kind of maintain the integrity of these very traditional, sometimes even ancient recipes,
Exactly. So here we have the mole enchiladas, which in Mexico we call them emoladas because it makes sense, mole, das. These are enfrijoladas de pato, which they're duck in there. And here we have the new aguachile is going to be making debut. Here, these two dishes going to be making a debut that we're going to bring them into a new menu.
We've had some guests write to us or speak to Ulises and say, oh my gosh, this takes me back to when I was a little girl and my abuela was making this, that, or the other. And that is, that really touches our soul.
Yeah, I almost gave me tear out.
Yeah, I've seen him tear up before. And everything on our menu is naturally gluten-free, except for two things. The huachinango al ajillo, which is a lightly battered, fried whole red snapper. That batter has some flour in it, so avoid that one. Our fish tacos, if you get them fried, are not going to be gluten-free. They are battered.
Because of the oil?
No, the batter. But those we hand batter those here. They're never frozen.
And you said this was the pork?
Yes.
The ossobuco. That's kind of that's a traditional, it's kind of a twist dish, Ossobuco, most people when they hear ossobuco, they think Italian. And Chef he cooks 5 cuisines and Italian is one of them. So a little bit of a nod to that, I think. Oh, those moles are scratch made, and we'd love to do that in-house, but we lack the space and the people. That's a 38 ingredient process. And so what we've done is Chef has developed his recipes with a group out of Oaxaca. They take his recipes, they make them for us, and they send it to us fresh. So it's sometimes it might be a little more spicy than other times. There might be some variations in that, but that is
control the peppers in their heat. You can put 1 pepper and it's very spicy, and then you put 2 and they're not that hot. What you're eating right now is called aguachile. You got your garlic, you got your lime, you got your fresh, onions and stuff like that. So it's very refreshing, very safe to eat because it's cured with the lime, and once you start eating, it's difficult to.
Well, and we have another dish similar. It's a different type of aguachile. It uses sushi grade tuna. And so certainly we're not going to serve anybody a raw dish that is anything less than top quality and, cooked in that lime juice. So it is perfectly safe to eat.
Did you want to say anything about your Hot Wheel collection or the fact that a couple of these are your hometown?
Actually, I went to school and in Orizaba. It was, yeah, it was one of the schools that they embraced me. They kicked me up a couple of times, but you know, it's like,
He was a wild one.
And we're really happy that you're part of our community. We are from Alden Bridge, so
we
We're glad you're in our neighborhood. We're glad you're in the Woodlands, but especially that you're close by in our neighborhood.
Thank you. We're happy to be a part of the community. And thank you for the welcome you've provided to us.
seriously, we didn't know what we were gonna get ourselves into, but I think it was more as a blessing for us.
yeah. Well, we hope you guys are here for many years.
Well, thank you.
Thank
We
you.
hope
Really
so
wonderful.
too.
We're excited to try all your new dishes too.
Absolutely.